This will probably be the first episode that I will post. And today, I think in this video, we're just going to talk about how I think Real Madrid should set up for Benfica today. And we're going to also talk about how Barcelona played yesterday, how Real Madrid played last week. I think we played really, really well. So yeah, let's get into it. All right, so first up, I think we should talk about the Real Madrid performance from last weekend's game. I think Vinicius Jr., when Kylian Mbappe is out, I think a lot of people have been seeing that Gonzalo Garcia is our main man. But I think for me, when Kylian Mbappe is out, that's when Vinicius Jr. steps up, not just Gonzalo Garcia. We saw that. We saw glimpses of that 23-24 season Vinny scoring 2 goals. I know they were both penalties, but then again, he drew both of them, and he was able to execute the pens and put them away and basically give Real Madrid the win. So yeah, I think an overall good team win. It's so great to have Trent back as well. I'm feeling very, very confident for the game today with Trent Alexander-Arnold back in the squad. He's such a versatile player, and I really want to see that for Real Madrid because I really respect him as a player. He's one of my favorite players personally. Another thing I want to look at is, of course, the Barcelona game. I don't think Barcelona played well at all. I think Girona, they deserve that win 100%. 100% they deserve that win. Because Barcelona, we thought, oh yeah, they don't have Pedri, they don't have Rafinha for the Atletico Madrid game. They get smacked 4-0. They have Rafinha, they have Pedri for this game against Girona, and they still lose. So I don't think these Barcelona fans can be making excuses saying that just because you don't have Pedri, just because you don't have Rafinha, you're not going to play well. They're making excuses. You have Lamine Yamal. You have the best youngster in the world. What can't he do? We saw that last season, and I think he's only going to get better. Maybe he's a bit worse, but he's still so young. I mean, 18 years of age. I'm excited to see where he goes. Obviously, as a Real Madrid fan, not so excited that Barcelona have him. Obviously, I would enjoy if he was on Madrid because he would be probably winning us a Champions League, and of course La Liga last season, but it is what it is. Barcelona have one of the best academies in the world. They produce players like that every now and then. But Lamine Yamal, I'm definitely excited to see what happens in his future, but they had a chance to win. You can't blame it on the refs. You have to blame it on Lamine Yamal. They had a chance to win. They had a chance to get a point in that game. If Lamine Yamal had scored that penalty, and then Kubarsi scored the header, and they made it to make it 2-0, I think Girona just would have put down their heads and said, we're not even going to try and come back. But since it was only one goal, and Girona were at home, they were like, we can actually win this thing. And the tempo was there for Girona. I was watching the game, and I was like, wow, Real Madrid do not play like this against Barcelona. Sometimes I see teams that are so neglected by the entire world play brilliant football against Barcelona, and they're able to break them down. The high line is just not working this season for Hansi Flick. Teams are starting to get around it because they find out that, wow, this Barcelona defense is so vulnerable because they play at half every single game. They play up at the half every single game. So they're so vulnerable, and we can literally get through them with a just flick ball over the top. And that's what we saw against Atletico Madrid. Atletico Madrid were just breaking them down left and right with a little flick ball through. Julian Alvarez was through. He would play a slot pass. Lookman was right there. Lookman set it one time for Julian Alvarez on the 4th goal. And then I think Griezmann for the first 2 goals were just a blur for Barcelona, but the 3rd and 4th goal, that's just proving my point that the high line is not working, because both of those goals, the high line was broken really badly. And I think a lot of teams I think that's the main reason why Barcelona did not see a Champions League last season, is because Inter Milan, that first goal in Milan, broke the high line way too easily. Dumfries got in, played a simple pass, simple square ball to Martinez, and he made it 1-1, or he made it 1-0, and then obviously scored the penalty, Çalhanoğlu, I think. But what I'm trying to say here is Barcelona aren't going to win anything if they keep this high line. I know it worked last season against Real Madrid. It may work against Real Madrid because Mbappe is so bad at staying on side, but it's not going to work against teams that actually hold their runs and that actually curve their runs, wait and can really attack you when they have speed at their attack like Atletico Madrid. And I don't see Barcelona coming back from 4-0 down in the Copa del Rey. I think this is how I think Real Madrid should line up against Benfica for sure. I think obviously go with Courtois in net. That's a no-brainer. Trent at right back. I think Rudiger, he's getting back into form. I think definitely start him with Hausen. The thing about Dean Hausen, 20 years of age. We saw him at the Club World Cup. We thought he was going to be a superstar. He comes to Spain. He's gotten 2 red cards, I think. At least 1. I don't know, but so Dean Hausen, I think if he can take the fouls out of his game, the red cards out of his game, he'll be probably one of the best center backs in the world in the next 2-3 years, I believe. And then left back, probably just Alvaro Carreras, of course, playing his former team. And I think we were mainly beaten in the air, obviously, against Benfica. Obviously, the goalkeeper scoring in the last second in the air. And we signed Dean Hausen to get more height. We signed him to be a better center back with his feet. That's why we signed him, because we were looking for center backs like that. And we signed him for height, and we're still getting beaten in the air. And it's just really hard to watch when we concede a header, because I was watching earlier in the season against Atletico Madrid when we lost like 5-2 or something, when Sorloth came in and scored a header. And it just really annoyed me because we signed Dean Hausen. Dean Hausen was in. He was on Sorloth, and we're still getting beat in the air. So that's what really annoys me with Dean Hausen, because I feel like he is just a waste of his height, honestly. Because he's not using his height. He's not using his aerial nuisance to do anything. We saw him score 2 headers at Bournemouth. One against Tottenham. I think the other one was against United or something. But we've seen how dangerous he was at Bournemouth in the air, and that's in the Premier League. Why not do that in La Liga? So I'm really confused, but I'm excited. Again, a very exciting prospect for not only Real Madrid, but for Spain. I'm very excited to see him at the World Cup. So I think he's a very exciting prospect, but I think right now we probably need to find somebody with a bit more experience than Dean Hausen. That's all I'm about to say. And also, I would love to see Raul Asensio get an appearance today as well. Now moving on to the midfield. I think Tchouaméni, it's a no-brainer as well. I think we've seen him starting a lot. He's been really, really well holding down the midfield defensively. He's been very, very good on the ball. Another player I want to see, Camavinga. Camavinga has been amazing as well. He has been unbelievable. He can get out of tight situations, win us a foul when we're playing out of the back, which will get us a free kick instead of having to play out. And that's just really, really important, because you don't want to be playing out the back against Benfica and lose it, because they can punish you with Pavlidis up top. I think I'm still debating between Valverde and Güler, but I think what they're going to do is they're going to play Valverde in the midfield and then Güler at right wing. Hopefully he starts today, because as much as I love Mastantuono, I do want the players that know what they're doing at Real Madrid. Mastantuono, he's still new to the team. I don't think he's proven himself, but yeah, so I think either Arda Güler or Mastantuono, depending who starts in the midfield. If it's Valverde in the midfield, I want Güler at the right wing. If it's Güler in the midfield, I'll take Mastantuono on the right wing. And honestly, for me, I think a lot of people will say this. For Mbappe and Vini, it's one or the other. It's one or the other for me. I know we saw against Olympiacos that maybe these two can play with each other, but then the very next game they just can't. They're so inconsistent. We have one good game with them where Vini's playing perfect passes through to Mbappe. They're using their speed, their counter-attacking play to break down defenses. And then the very next game, they just a stinker. And they don't score any goals. We have to go to the penalty spot to win a game. So yeah, I think it's just one or the other for me. I think if Vinny starts on the left, I want Gonzalo Garcia at striker. We could have Mbappe at the left and Gonzalo Garcia at striker. I would love to see that, honestly. But I think if don't rush Mbappe back in. I think that's the main thing for me. I don't want to rush him back in. I really want to start Vinny, considering how good he played again at the weekend against Sociedad. In the 23-24 season, he was at his best week in, week out. And that's why people are saying he got robbed for the Ballon d'Or. In the 24-25 season, last season, he was inconsistent. He would have, again, a game where he would score 2 or 3 goals, and then he would have 10 games where he wouldn't score a single goal. So that is why I think a lot of people called him a flop. Said that he didn't deserve the Ballon d'Or because he's playing bad now. But if you look back at the 23-24 season, he played amazing week in, week out. And then the 24-25 season, he's inconsistent. But when Vinny was consistent, when Vinny was playing at his best, he was scoring a goal every single goal, 2 goals every game, 1 goal, at least a goal every game, sometimes a hat trick. So I really want to see Vinny ball out today because I think against Benfica, I think he can definitely do something on that wing, and I really do want to see him do something on that wing.